Hey everyone. So today I will be explaining why I am no longer a Christian. This is not about why you shouldn't be a Christian or why anybody shouldn't be a Christian. This is just about why I am not one anymore. So to start off, I guess I should explain why I was a Christian in the first place. Well, I was raised to be one. I was born into a Christian family, and most of the people that I knew were Christian, and so I just bought into it and pretty much believed what everybody told me because to begin with, my parents told me it was true. So that's really the main reason I was a Christian, was because that's what everybody told me was right. So I was fine with that for most of my youth, I guess. Many times I would think about God and how could God exist and stuff like that, and I would correct myself, and I would say to myself, don't think like that, don't question it, you'll go to hell or whatever. You have to believe, God's right, there's the Bible, blah, blah, blah. So that fear, coupled with a few really improbable things that happened in my life that benefited me and were really hard uh, for me to grasp how it could happen unless God intervened, um, those two things really helped me keep my faith for a long time, even though I was questioning whether it was right or not. So that lasted for years, and I remember even thinking that whatever the Bible said must be literally true because it's in the Bible. I remember one night, I was probably 11 or 12 years old, something like that, and I was reading the Bible, and for whatever reason, my dad came into my room, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, check this out. In the Bible, it says this guy lived to be like 700 years old. Isn't that crazy?" And both my parents, like I said, were Christians, so they of course believe in the Bible. And even still, he was like, "What? No, I don't know, that's kind of crazy." I was like, "Well, it says it in the Bible, so it's got to be true." And he still thought it kind of sounded funny. So my idea was, well, maybe it was so long ago that God didn't really set up time yet. Like, he hadn't decided how long humans should live, so it wasn't so weird for a guy to live hundreds of years. So that was my excuse for that. But as I grew older, I began to question it more and more. And I don't know when I got really serious about it. I don't know how long it took, but it was really drawn out as I started questioning it more and more and thinking about what I really believed. And after so long of really thinking about it, there was one night where I just had to think, okay, what do you really believe? I had to come to terms with myself. I think I was about 19 and just think, what do you really believe in? Forget influence from what anybody else tells you or what you should be afraid of. What do you think is out there, if anything? And I just thought about it, and after a while, I was just like, wow, I don't think I believe in God. And that was really hard for me to admit to myself because I still had a little bit of fear in me, but it was really freeing and refreshing that I could admit to myself what I really believed and not continue to lie to myself just so I could calm my own fears. But one thing that helped me feel better about it was that at that point it wasn't anything that I could help. It was just admitting to myself what I believed. I couldn't help that I didn't believe. It was just I couldn't accept what was being said to me as truth. It wasn't that I was a bad person or rebelling or anything. I it was just what I believed, and I couldn't help it. And I got more and more comfortable with that after a while. For so long, I was still really uncomfortable with talking about it to family members and other Christians because I had recently been in their shoes, and I realized, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I noticed all of the crap that had been said to me through the years by preachers and people at church and realized that they teach you to be so close-minded. I was taught in church that if anybody approaches you and tries to tell you that God might not exist, then they are sent by Satan or just evil people, and pray for them because they need to find Jesus or whatever. So they taught me to take what they said as fact and not question it, and reject the ideas of anybody who told me to question it. And just thinking, I was like, wow, that is like really brainwashing. So that made me feel a lot better about questioning Christianity and what they teach in churches, or at least what I was taught. And I attended Baptist churches mostly. So with the things being taught at church that I didn't agree with, and also since I was kind of changing, I wanted to look for arguments on both ways. I wanted to look for arguments for theism and Christianity, and arguments to be atheist or anything really. And so I would use the internet to look up all kinds of people's opinions and read discussions about it. And that also helped me feel better about no longer being Christian and having the very questioning views that I hold now. So that's why I'm not a Christian anymore. I was able to admit it to myself after many years, and something that I really just couldn't help. It's just what I believed. I just didn't believe that the Christian religion was right. So if you have lost faith or gained faith or changed faiths in your lifetime, I'd really like to hear about it. I think those stories are pretty interesting, how somebody can believe in something really seriously and it be something that holds all the answers to their lives, and then either suddenly or over a period of time give it up or change to something else. And I went through that, so I can relate to other people that do it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.